Everyone thought Red Bull was vulnerable. New engine. New partnership with Ford. No Adrian Newey. And after that hydraulic failure in Bahrain, the paddock smelled weakness. But here's what nobody is talking about. While Ferrari was chasing headlines, while Mercedes was searching for balance, Red Bull was quietly running long stints that were 0.4 per lap faster than anyone else. 0.4. Over a full race distance, that's not an advantage. That's a disappearance. And the most disturbing part? They were lifting off on the straights, hiding straight-line speed, running cooler than Mercedes and Ferrari by 12 degrees Celsius. No clipping. No overheating. No tire drop-off. This was not a flashy preseason. It was a controlled warning. Because if this is Red Bull holding back, what happens when they stop hiding? Subscribe now, because what the RB22 just revealed after preseason might decide the championship before the first race even starts. The preseason tests are over. No more experiments. No more hiding behind fuel loads and unknown engine modes. Now we look at patterns. And the pattern around the RB22 is deeply uncomfortable for the rest of the grid. Because Red Bull did not chase the fastest lap. They avoided it. Every time Ferrari went for a headline number, Red Bull went for something else. Long runs. Heavy fuel. Consistent deltas. And that tells you exactly where their confidence lies. But here's what most people missed. Consistency is more dangerous than peak speed. During one of Verstappen's race simulations in Bahrain, the lap time variation was almost non-existent. Not dramatic. Not explosive. Just relentless. Lap after lap. Within a tenth. That level of stability means the tires are not overheating. It means the rear is not sliding unpredictably. It means the aerodynamic platform is not collapsing under load. And that connects directly to the Ford power unit. Because thermal control changes everything. Reports suggest the engine is running noticeably cooler than its direct rivals. Cooler engines allow tighter packaging. Tighter packaging reduces drag. Lower drag increases straight-line efficiency. And that efficiency shows up where it hurts most. End of straight speed. Most engines begin to lose electrical deployment near the end of long straights. The boost fades. The acceleration flattens. That is called clipping. The RB22 did not show that weakness. The electrical delivery remained consistent. Which means the energy recovery system is not just strong. It is optimized. And this is where the psychological edge appears. When a driver knows the power will not drop before the braking zone, he attacks differently. He commits earlier. He positions the car more aggressively. Confidence in deployment creates overtaking confidence. But let's go deeper. Because the engine is only one layer. The front suspension geometry is extremely aggressive under braking. Minimal nose dive. Stable ride height. That keeps the floor working. And in this generation of cars, the floor is everything. Downforce stability equals tire protection. Tire protection equals strategic flexibility. Strategic flexibility wins races. Now combine all of that. A cooler engine. Sustained electrical boost. Low drag bodywork. Stable braking platform. Minimal tire degradation. You start to see the shape of the weapon they have built. It is not flashy. It is efficient. And efficiency over a race distance becomes dominance. But there is still one question hanging in the air. If this is what they showed publicly, what did they keep hidden? Let's talk about the moment that almost changed the narrative. Wednesday in Bahrain. The hydraulic failure. 4 hours in the garage. Covers on the car. Silence in the Red Bull garage. And suddenly, the whispers started. Is the packaging too extreme? Is the Ford integration too ambitious? Is this the price of going independent? From the outside, it looked like the first crack. But inside the team, the reaction told a different story. Max Verstappen was scheduled to run that afternoon. He refused. Not dramatically. Not emotionally. But firmly. He did not want a compromised car. That decision matters more than the failure itself. Because it shows something critical. They are not desperate for mileage. They are protecting a system they believe in. And what happened the next day confirmed it. The RB22 returned to the track. No visible instability. No repeated issue. Instead, it delivered one of the most controlled long runs of the entire test. 15 laps. Almost identical lap times. No thermal spike. No sudden drop in pace. No rear tire collapse. That is not luck. That is architecture. But here is where the story becomes even more interesting. Extreme packaging creates two realities. On one hand, aerodynamic efficiency improves dramatically. Tighter bodywork means cleaner airflow toward the rear. Less drag. More speed. On the other hand, maintenance becomes complex. Access to components is tighter. Small failures can cost hours. Which means their biggest threat this season may not be Ferrari or Mercedes. It may be operational execution, Pittsburgh lane precision, repair speed, system resilience under pressure. Because when you design a car this tightly, there is very little room for error. But Red Bull knows this. They have built championships on process, not just performance. And here's the detail most viewers missed. Even after losing hours in the garage, they still completed significant mileage across the 2 weeks. For a first in-house power unit era with Ford involvement, that is not normal. That is stability. And stability creates freedom. Freedom to push. Freedom to experiment with deployment maps. Freedom to hide performance. Now connect that to what Ferrari was doing. Aggressive qualifying simulations. Chasing headline lap times. Showing their peak. Red Bull did the opposite. They simulated full race distances. Heavy fuel. Controlled pace. And in those runs, the average delta hovered around 0.4 per lap faster than Ferrari. 0.4 is not visible in one corner. But over a stint, it becomes suffocating. You cannot defend against that. You cannot strategy your way around that. You slowly disappear in the mirrors. And this brings us to the psychological layer. When rivals see a team unfazed by early reliability drama. When they see them return stronger the next day. When they realize the long-run data favors them. Doubt begins. And doubt spreads faster than performance upgrades. But there is still one dimension we have not fully addressed. Why did the RB22 look so calm over bumps? Why was there almost no visible porpoising? And how does that tie directly back to the floor design and suspension geometry? Because that detail, that hidden stability, may be the real advantage that decides everything.